What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take slash let's talk. Mizzah Tee, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. So you're looking at the title. I want to bring Mizzah Tee on for this little discussion because uh WB's been going through kind of a weird place, to say the least. And pretty much they're part of the merger now with Discovery, and there's a new sheriff in town, quote unquote sheriff. Plus all the stuff that's been happening behind the scenes. If you've been following their DCEU stuff with Ezra Miller, we're not going to get into the myriad of problems with that, or the Amber Heard situation. They just have a whole lot of issues going on with their stuff. To be fair, that's putting it lightly. But I want to bring Mr. T on because apparently the new head in charge, I think his name is something Zaslov.
Uh,
Um,
David Zaslav.
yeah, David Zaslov. Uh, he they're pretty much cleaning shop. They're cleaning house. Now, on the one hand, I do like that because you need a fresh start. Because the whole thing with Hamada and Ray Fisher and the whole Justice League thing that would that went left so fast that all the credibility that they did have to me was kind of already shaky just because of how they handled that whole situation. But he has known to be a fan of the Zack Snyder stuff. No, nothing wrong with that at all. But that to me, that ship is kind of sailed a little bit. Like that ship is gone. So I don't know what path you take to try to either fix the DCEU or do you uh just start over fresh, brand new vision, put one person in charge and just go from there. So I want to bring T on and get his thoughts on that. And at the end of it, should we keep HBO Max or not? So, Mr. T, the floor is yours.
I mean, I knew Hamada was on his way out. I didn't. I guess I just missed the boat where it actually officially happened. But to start off with Zaslav, I think his name is David Zaslav. I don't want to be saying his name wrong, but I think that's right. Can you look it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
I feel like that's right, but I'm not sure. Obviously, he's the Discovery guy. They've had great success on Discovery, although very different success that I care about, um, especially pertaining to DC and HBO Max. Uh, Discovery, um, actually until this merger, I didn't realize it was as big as it is. I didn't know Discovery had it going on like that.
I didn't either.
But yeah, I didn't know they had the ability to buy Warner Brothers. But anyway, uh, that type of stuff doesn't mesh well, as far as I'm concerned, with what DC is, and especially what HBO Max is about. Um, as far as I'm concerned, with all the issues that have been going on, HBO Max is the one bright spot in all of this. It is a great service um, with a lot of great content. And so, as you know, as you alluded to, Zaslav has been uh, just starting to cut everything, and I'm pretty upset um, because there are certain things that are like, well, how much money are you really saving on that? The main thing being Batgirl, like that really pissed me off because the movie was done. You had actors and producers and whatnot talking about it online, very excited about it. What's the main actor's name? Actress's name?
Uh,
Um, I really should have looked at this stuff before it came
yeah,
on, but
hold on.
um,
I'll find it. Uh,
I know she's the one from In the Heights.
yeah, it's Leslie Grace.
Okay, yeah. I really feel terrible for her because she was clearly very excited about this. And they they started out with the BS of it. It's just not up to standards, which is total BS. They're basically just trying to save some money. They're using that movie especially as a tax write-off. And I'm like, how much money are you really saving on that? Do you really want to upset the fans is it really worth it for a tiny little tax write-off? Comparatively, obviously, we're talking about a lot of money, but comparatively, is it really that much money in savings? So to me, that worries me because that means the hell with the creative stuff. We're all about the bottom line, and you have to be about your bottom line. But if that's all you're about, that concerns me. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, that tells me a lot about Zaslav and how he feels about creatives and how important that stuff or what it means to him. And right now, it doesn't seem like it means a lot. There's a lot of double speak. Like I said, they're talking about how they want to basically ingratiate themselves with fans, but also they want to make, they believe that the product from DC especially can be better, which I agree. Obviously, there's been some ups and downs with the cinematic universe there. But right now, I'm annoyed and pissed off. That could change if I start seeing things that are better. Now they're also talking this, we got to find our Kevin Feige thing, which on one hand, I like the idea because we've been saying this for years. Like DC should be DC Studios, just to be its own thing, the way Disney treats Marvel as its own thing. And creatives should be running that. The right people should be running that. And so it looks like they're finally actually going in that direction after trying or pretending to be going in that direction before with the Snyderverse. So, but again, as of right now, I'm not happy. I'm hoping that changes. Right now, I'm feeling like I don't want to watch anything to do with Warner Brothers. That's how mad I am. I'm thinking about canceling my HBO Max subscription because they're talking about merging it with Discovery. And I'm like, I don't want that junk. I don't want that crap in my HBO app. I don't care anything about the reality nonsense. It matters not to me. HBO has, for decades, been just a pillar of like entertainment and media. They win 100 Emmys every year because of their content. Their shows are amazing, and I'm worried because like you said, they're starting to slash things. They start to slash that kind of stuff, we're gonna have a serious problem. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm at a wait and see, but I'm also at I don't think I'm going to watch. I'm personally boycotting DC stuff or just Warner Brothers stuff, not DC. But I don't feel motivated to go see these movies right now because I don't like what they're doing. So.
Well, that was the thing that I didn't understand with the like if they would have said, okay, we canceling Flash, I understand because that's a whole nother realm of stuff, right. And you don't know how people are going to react if you put that movie out in theaters. Batgirl, right. I didn't understand because at first I thought Batgirl wasn't finished. No, Batgirl's finished and been finished. So even at this point, okay, you're not saving money. You can't say you're saving money.
No.
If it's me and you just don't want to put it in theaters because you're scared, put it on HBO Max.
Right. I mean, they already spent the $90 million.
Yeah, you already spent it.
Like, what are you saving with a tax write-off?
And then, okay, you put it on HBO Max. If it blows up on HBO Max, then you got an excuse to throw it in theaters.
Right.
Right? Because you put it in theaters during a dead month, and you're gonna make the money. Perfect example: the first Venom movie. That movie about not being evil. That movie is not good. Okay,
no,
but
it's not.
It came out in a dead month. The month October was dead.
Right.
People went because it was that they went back 2 and 3 times because that was the movie to watch in October.
Right. What did it make? Like $800-something million? Like.
Yeah, off of like under 100, and you could tell they did not use the full 100.
Right.
Just saying.
And like even now, you can backtrack at this point right now because fans are upset, right?
Yeah.
And there would be a huge movement of people wanting to go see this movie. You put it in theaters right now. Say, oh, we're gonna backtrack. We listen to the fans. That movie will do well.
Yes.
It will definitely make your $90 million back.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it, man.
Well, it was gonna make his $90 million back regardless, just based off.
Right. It was gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they didn't want to pay for it because they haven't paid for an ad campaign. That's where that's where the extra 100 million comes from. You know, that's why movies cost 200 million because of the ads.
Yeah.
So they probably didn't want to pay for that, but you still gonna make your money back, even if if you don't spend as much. Word of mouth, it's Batgirl. You know, it's in the Batman universe. People are going to go see it. So,
I mean, thinking about it logically, from a logical perspective, DC's fan base is large enough that even the people that claim they hate everything woke with a female lead and black lead and all that, they would go see it. I mean,
of course they would. You know what? Because one reason they could definitely go see it is Michael Keaton's in it as Batman.
Yes.
Like, I mean, come on.
So I don't understand the thought process on that one. That one I just don't understand, because even like I said, at the end of the day, you still could put it on HBO Max, and if the numbers show up, which let's be real, they will. You can put it in theaters anyway right after that and still make your money. Just put it out in the dead month. But that one was the one that I'm like, okay, did I miss something? The Flash situation though, with Ezra Miller just acting the fool, that was the one where I was like, okay, y'all already got this $225 million movie done.
You know what? They didn't have to be in the situation. This is Warner Brothers' fault.
Yeah.
He had done something way long ago, choked some girl out
on camera.
On camera, choked some girl out. They could have nipped it in the bud then, but they swept it under the rug. They act like it didn't happen. They ain't even mention it. They didn't mention it at all. They could have stopped it before it happened. They could have got us a new Flash and before filming.
Yep.
And it would have been all right. Now they're stuck. They're gonna put this movie out come hell or high water.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That one they don't have a choice. But my thing was, I'm like, if it's that, what they should do is just put it on HBO Max. Put it on Max. Yeah. I mean, you got a service.
The thing is, they don't want to do that because they want to diminish HBO Max, basically.
Yeah.
Like I understand the no day and date stuff, and that was never going to be a permanent. It never felt like it was going to be a permanent thing. It felt like it was a
stop.
It felt like it was a COVID thing. That's what it felt like to me. I thought they were doing it because, we have these movies coming, and not everybody wants to run to the theaters. So if you have, HBO Max, hopefully this will get you to purchase HBO Max. If you have it, and you'll be able to watch it safely. I thought it was a nice gesture,
Yeah. Well, it was a way for them to capitalize on it as well, because you're like, dude, even if your theater is open, back then they had seating requirements, was basically meant like you wasn't getting a full theater house, even if you did. So you weren't going to make that during that whole year and a half. Wasn't nobody making no $1 billion at no theater.
No, it wasn't going to happen.
The one that did was Spider-Man No Way Home, and that's because
that was in December.
And I told you what happened at my theater, the theater that I go to. There was only one other movie in that theater, Dune. It had one house. The other 13 houses was Spider-Man. That's how it made its money.
Right. It was nothing else.
There was nothing else. So you're starting to see people come back. You're like, dude, y'all might have to keep this going for these movies that are problematic. Yeah. For the problematic movies, you might have to do that.
Those weren't great movies. Like, Godzilla versus King Kong was not a great movie.
It was a good spectacle movie.
It actually still,
It was a good spectacle movie because the spectacle in there was good. But as far as let's be real, that movie wasn't winning no damn Oscars.
No. What else we talking about? Mortal Kombat, not a great movie.
Don't even get me started.
Hell, earlier in the year, you got 3 Oscar winners. You got Denzel Washington, you got Rami Malek, and you got what's his name? Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And that movie was The Little Things.
Yeah,
that movie sucked. That was not a good movie.
Horrible. But
if it was a good movie, it would have came out, what was it, February?
Yeah.
That's Hollywood Graveyard usually. So or January. But
it's both of them. Both of them. January and
Yeah,
February.
January, February is usually Hollywood great. Let's get this stuff out, kind of thing. There's no real big movies in. Maybe we'll make some money.
Yeah.
So the movies they were putting out weren't that great to begin with. So they can't blame HBO Max because if you want to blame HBO Max, that would have meant their subscriptions went through the roof, right?
Yeah.
If it was HBO Max's fault, why didn't its subscriptions completely blow up catastrophically?
Yeah.
It wasn't HBO Max's fault. It was the quality of the film's fault. They were still in theaters, and it wasn't like people were like, "Well, HBO Max exists. I'm not going to get it, but because it exists, I'm not going to go to the movies." No, you weren't going to do either or. You were going to get HBO Max, or you were going to go to the theater. Those movies just weren't great, and you were in the heights of COVID still. So that's what the problem was with that. I hate that HBO Max was getting blamed for poor, quality films.
The other thing too is I think that was a smart decision on their part because
I think it was smart.
When you think about it, dude, let's be real. You put out Mortal Kombat in theaters in April, the way that movie was it making 500 million? No. The best parts of that movie was the first 8 minutes and the last 10 with Hiroyuki Sanada. I love that guy, one of my favorite actors. I feel bad for him because I'm like, he does so much good work.
So much good work.
And he gets like really.
Like that's what y'all doing.
That's what we're gonna do.
They're making a sequel, so there's that.
I don't know how.
I don't know if they're actually gonna do it now with Zaslav.
Yeah.
Because I think that was greenlit before.
It was
Discovery merger. So
yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like that movie in particular, I think people made excuses for it. Just because they got to see it.
I'm guilty. I made some excuses.
Because they got to see fatalities. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
But
what about the rest of the movie?
Yeah, about the rest of the movie. that was the thing with me was so like Godzilla versus Kong for example.
Mm-hmm.
That was perfect because of the
simple fun theater movie.
Yeah. Because number one, Godzilla is a specific niche, and I hate when I have to have this argument with people. Like, you don't go to a Godzilla movie to see the humans.
No,
that's not what you go for. So
they're there.
Yeah,
but they're not usually very compelling.
No, they're not. I'm like, dude, that's not what you go to a kaiju movie to see. You go to a kaiju movie to see the damn kaijus.
Yeah, and I will say there was a lot of kaiju in that movie, at least.
And they kept it short and to the point. So to me, like that one being on HBO Max was like perfect, and putting it in theaters was perfect because I heard the IMAX version was off the chain. Like
it still did pretty well.
Yeah, but
I think it made like 500, which is pretty good at that time period for theaters.
Yeah. So, and I'm sitting here like, bro, this ain't designed to win no Oscars. It's designed to be a popcorn flick. You go during a matinee. You got the wife and the kids with you. The kids are happy. Y'all happy. You got to see some stuff get blown up, and a few good fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ask for anything else? No, no.
Now, in hindsight, that's probably the one movie they probably should have waited on.
Yeah.
Because I think they could have made it probably at least 800.
Yeah.
So if it, in a better theater environment, it would have probably made 800.
Because even King of the Monsters did good.
Yeah.
That one did good.
It was worse. And it was worse.
People hated that movie. And I'm like, why y'all hating it? Because they didn't do anything with the human characters. I don't have any connection. I'm like, you're not supposed to.
Yeah. You got to have some semblance of a story and something to motivate the scenes, and but it don't have to be that deep.
No, it ain't like that movie. It ain't supposed to be deep for. Like it's not. You're not. You know what you're there for. So exactly. I understand that. So I still think that HBO Max is a good way to save some stuff, especially like for instance, like the whole Batgirl situation. They should really think about this.
But you hear what they said, that when they want to act, there won't be any more original movies.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that for HBO Max. That's what they said. So that would have been an HBO Max original.
which
You'll get
I,
shows, I'm guessing,
I'm
but movies
I
you
think
won't
that's a
get.
bad. I do
That's
think that's a bad take. Like them
that's
getting
bad.
rid of the original scripted stuff, their stuff is a bad take. That's a real bad take.
Yeah, and what kills me, they were talking about scripted versus unscripted, as if reality shows aren't scripted. Excuse me?
Yeah, like
Of course they are.
yeah, because reality. To be fair, reality is pretty mundane. So you have to
Right.
manufacture drama.
Yeah. The real difference is cheap, uncheap.
Yeah,
That's the real difference.
yeah, that's the difference.
Reality stuff is cheap because the actors don't make a whole lot.
Yeah, because they're
The
not
producers,
they're not names. They're
right?
not names.
So it's way cheaper. That's what it is. It's not no damn scripted versus unscripted. It's cheap versus uncheap.
Now,
So
so I want to get your thoughts on this. How would you go about fixing the whole Flash situation? Would you get Grant Gustin since they're finally canceling the CW's Flash? Would you have tried to go get Grant Gustin to try to X out the whole
yeah,
Ezra
I
Miller
would
thing?
have because it makes sense because Ezra Miller showed up in the show,
Yeah,
and so you could easily just there's some kind of it's a comic book
shenanigans.
movie. You can there's come out of off world kind of swap that happened between them. Again, it was by it was just too late at that point because he's playing multiple characters and he's like in 85% of the movie.
Yeah,
So you can't like reshoot him out at this point.
nah,
Might as well shoot a whole nother movie with the cost that would be.
and,
So
you're not spending that much money to do that, so
no,
you're not going to do that.
no.
So your best bet is
And
to
the
just
movie's testing well. That's another thing. That's another reason that they're like, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to just take this on the chin. The movie
yeah,
is testing really well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Ezra Miller is a good Flash. He's likable. I like
he
him
just he's just
in
crazy
the
in real
movie,
life.
but he's crazy in real life. That's the problem.
Yeah,
You know, and they're trying to fix it. They got him. They got somebody to write a statement about an apology.
yeah.
he's going into he's going into some
That
kind of
they came from, I don't
therapy.
think they came from him.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He
Um,
need to be on camera apologizing, Will Smith style,
yeah,
for it to feel you know, any semblance of real.
yeah.
So that was a nothing burger to me.
That was
But
them.
again, that's part of the PR they're working on because they know they got to put this movie out.
Yeah,
So they're working that PR now.
that's what I was about to say. So this movie's actually gonna still come out.
Oh,
So
it's coming out.
yeah,
I have no doubt that it's coming out. Unless something comes out about him doing some underage child stuff.
yeah,
That's going to be the only line in the sand, I think.
yeah.
Because
Man, so
if it was all about we're trying to save money, tax write off, why don't you write
you
off the
would do that
Flash?
one. You would do that one, right?
Right. Write
Yeah.
the Flash off. With, the movie with the terrible person in it. Write that movie off. You'll make all your money back, and you'll be good to go.
Because you still
So
got
what's the
Black Adam
problem?
and Shazam coming out. You still got
Right.
Black Adam and Shazam coming out. So
Still
it's
got
not
Black
like,
Adam. Still got Shazam.
yeah. And let's be
This is a
real.
movie that's still a year away,
Yeah.
almost.
And
So I'm like,
let's be real.
you got
People are coming to see The Rock.
yeah.
People are coming to see
He's
The Rock.
one of the last few movie stars we got. Like
Yeah.
him and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's it.
So the people are gonna be there. Even the people that don't watch the DC, the wrestling fans are gonna be there strictly for The Rock.
Right. Even the people who don't care about DC or Black Adams or anything like that, they're gonna go see the next Rock movie.
Yeah. So
That's what it is. It's the Rock movie. I'm going to see it.
oh, The Rock in this? Yeah, I'm gonna go see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Black Adam, he ain't black. We don't gotta
He's
worry about
wearing
that.
a
It's The Rock.
he's wearing a superhero costume and he don't need no padding.
Yeah.
He's the Rock. Oh man.
That's why he should actually be at the premiere just going through all The Rock's catchphrases.
Seriously. And
So
another thing I'm tired of is all this um, Henry Cavill false start crap. I'm just done with it. I don't even care anymore, bro. At this point, oh, he might show up. There's a rumor that he's gonna be at the this and this and that. Oh, he didn't show up because he got COVID. I'm like, stop, just
no, he
stop.
didn't. Like that man. Have you seen that man's work schedule? He wasn't showing up.
He's not. He wasn't coming. He was
Yeah,
never coming. But they keep dangling the carrot for the fans to care. That's why they're doing it. They're only doing it
yeah,
for attention,
yeah. I mean,
and that's pissing me off too.
they.
Either tell us the man is coming back and tell us now, or tell us he's not coming back.
Well, I was sitting here
I'm sick of it.
thinking about it like this. I'm like, they screwed up because they never, when they had, because he's our age. He can't. He
Yeah, he's
wasn't gonna be
39
able
now.
to. Yeah, he wasn't gonna be able to play Superman forever. So what they should have did was back in 2011 when Man of Steel came, they should have locked him down. They
2013.
did not. They didn't do
Yeah.
that. So I'm like, dude, you can't.
Or
Y'all,
and give him a Man of Steel too, and
yeah,
not try to rush their cinematic universe. That's what happened.
yeah, because that's what they should have done. They should have cemented who Superman was by doing Man of Steel 2. They should have never went the Batman vs Superman route. They should have never
No,
did that. Not off the rip.
no. Dude, they had a perfect opportunity. I know it was still pretty close to that bad Green Lantern movie,
Yeah.
but they had a perfect opportunity to reboot that situation right there. Because this is what happened with Man of Steel. That is a earth-wide, earth-shattering event that would call for a Green Lantern.
To show up.
You could have transitioned easily into a new Green Lantern.
And you didn't have to use it. You screwed over Ryan Reynolds. So all you had to do was just go with either Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, or John Stewart. Just pick another one.
I think John Stewart would have been the best route to go.
Yeah,
at that point.
More than likely would have, because that's the other one that people know. People know John Stewart from the cartoon because they used him for like damn near a decade. People didn't know, unless you read the comics, people didn't know about Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner. They knew John Stewart.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the way my thinking was they were going to do, because I didn't even put together that Green Lantern kicked off their cinematic. I thought it was Man of Steel, but it was Green Lantern. So I'm like, okay, you screwed over Ryan Reynolds, so that's messed up what you did, but you could kind of soft reboot at Man of Steel.
Yeah, with what happened with Man of Steel. Had an end credit scene with John Stewart.
Yeah, had him showing up like, what the hell happened? Kind of situation.
We need a lantern. Where is the lantern for Earth?
Yeah. So that's to me how they could have done that, or how they could have spun that. But I think at the time they were just so fixated on Batman and everything had to be, because
you gotta bring Batman back. Batman's $1 billion guy. You gotta bring him back quickly.
It's like, and my thing was, I'm like, dude, first of all, y'all actually, WB don't know how to differentiate characters for some reason, because everybody had to be Batman. Arrow was Batman. Clark was Batman. Like, there was stuff. Remember when people got mad at us when we did our review of Man of Steel, because we said like the whole Pa Kent death scene was like, that could have been avoided.
Yeah,
they should have just did like they did in the comic where he died of a heart attack and there wasn't nothing you could do about it. Yeah. No,
it would have been way cheaper for one. Yeah. You could have saved a couple $1 million on that.
Yeah,
and it makes more sense because Superman, that's one thing he couldn't save. He can't stop people from dying from natural causes. That's a moment that makes sense. That's why it was, that was the point. But it's so annoying to see that
they put him in a perfectly savable situation and had him
You think he would have just sat there and watched Jonathan Kent die when he could have stopped it? He wouldn't have cared about any of that stuff.
For a dog.
Who wouldn't have, come on. That really hurt that movie to me. I love it otherwise. That scene drives me insane.
Yeah, but that was one, that scene was like, what are
watching Henry Cavill try to act like a teenager,
clearly in his 30s
with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, he's clearly in his 30s. Like, bro, why did
Trying
y'all
to talk with
use?
a higher pitched voice and Mike, you're not my dad. It was like, bro.
Because my
Stop.
thing was, and the sad thing about it was they had the actor that played the teen version of him like 2 scenes
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, and he had in the timeline of the movie, he was like he hit puberty and he grew like a foot taller
Yep,
or
gained
something
like
crazy. So you
gained
could have
like
had that same actor. But they went with Henry Cavill and tried to make him younger, 10 years younger than he was. I'm like, come on, man. This is not working.
I just thought that was funny. But I remember people getting mad at us. I remember people getting mad at us for saying that, like, dude, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that because there was
No,
they just should. It didn't make sense.
made
But
no sense.
that's why I'm like, okay, maybe this whole maybe getting rid of all those previous execs is probably the one thing that actually could probably help them pin this down
That's a
because
good move.
yeah, because okay, like for instance, when we watched Wonder Woman 84,
Oh,
I'm like, I see why Feige just let her walk from Thor 2. I'm like, you can't just do what you want. You're in
right.
a shared thing. You can't just do what you want.
Yeah. You can kind of do what you want,
But not to that
but you still
extent.
got to adhere to the overall story, the overall tone.
Yeah, which Wonder Woman 84 was up and down to me. I was just like, I tried to watch it again to see if it was like if I feel different a couple years later. No, I don't.
Yeah. It got worse the
Yeah,
third time I watched it. It got worse.
because then I started. Now I'm noticing like other stuff that I missed. I'm like, I
Right.
missed that the first time. So yeah, it was just like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's say it about
Aside
that.
from the bad technical issues, like the choreography,
Mm-hmm.
terrible. The fact she didn't have her sword and shield. She was just using the lasso of truth to fight, and that was just like an homage to the TV show. And I was just like, this is corny, bro. This is not good.
Yeah.
How do you go from Wonder Woman to 1984? That was just a huge drop off to me.
Yeah. Now the Justice League situation, I don't know what you do with that. Because one of my favorite characters from that whole Justice League was Cyborg. I thought Ray Fisher did a great job. He got screwed over by Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
um,
He wasn't happy with Hamada either, right? There was
yeah,
some
well,
issues.
because Hamada was covering up. Him and Jeff Johns was covering it up.
Right.
And then
Well,
we get to
Hamada's not
see,
there anymore.
yeah, then we get to see the actual Zack Snyder cut. And you're like, Joss Whedon, you ain't that good, are you?
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah,
He's actually worse than what I thought.
yeah. I'm like, you really
Snyder
ain't that
Cut was
good.
so much better. So
Yeah.
much better. It wasn't
Now,
just marginally better.
no, it
It
was
was
way better.
leagues better.
Yeah. And now I used to work in a movie theater, so I understand why you can't put a 4-hour movie in theaters. I understand that. I understand that. But
They
what you
used to
do
do that
is,
though. They used to do
but
that.
yeah, but what you can do is, especially nowadays, just chop it in the middle. Make 1 and
Yeah,
2.
there was a point in the movie where you could have cut it and
Yeah,
you said, part 1 and then part 2.
and
The
because
same
they do
year,
this
like
in
they did with
Japan.
what they
What?
do that with the Matrix.
Yeah, they
The
do with
Matrix was they filmed them both because it was only one or Matrix 2 and 3 were actually just supposed to be the sequel,
Yeah,
but obviously it was way too long,
yeah.
so they had to cut it up into 2 parts. And that's Warner Brothers. Oh, they've done that before. Oh, wow.
They have. Well, because I know, like in Japan, they did it because with the Rurouni Kenshin movie, the second movie, the Tokyo Burns movie. Well, they
Yep.
cut it up. Like
Yep.
when one came out in August of that year, the part 2 came out in September. You could have did the same thing.
Yep. And there was a cut point. You could have cut it off. I can't remember where it was now, but I remember it like, oh, they could have cut it right here, and it was then exactly 2 hours.
Yeah, and then guess what? You put one out 1 month, you put one out the next one, the second part out the second month, and guess what? You are good to go.
You're good to go.
Like you don't have to wait no 6 months now, no next year. You ain't got to do that. Put one out 1 month, put one out the next month, and bam, you made all your money. Now, once again, I understand why you can't put a 4-hour film all together in a theater because you're only going to be able to have
a time when you could do that in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
No.
Because you're only gonna get what, maybe, because most theaters open at 11, between 11 and 12.
Right.
What, you're gonna get 2 showings in? Because you're not
Right.
going to, the early morning time between like 7 and 11 or 7 and 12, depending, is for like special events like schools and stuff like that. So you only got for that 12 to 12 time frame, because you're not going to show nothing after midnight unless it's a special event.
Right.
So yeah, you can't. You're only going to get 2 showings a day. That's not going to make you no money.
That's not going to make you money, no.
Yeah, so I understand why Warner Bros. Like, all right, look, you got to cut this down. But at the same time, like, all you got to do is cut it at that 2 hour mark and put one out in
right.
November and put the second part out in December, and bam, you done made your money.
And how many times in the history of Hollywood has cutting a movie from 4 hours to 2 hours been good? Never. It's never been a good thing. You can't cut, because that's what happened with Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder apparently had a 4 hour cut, and they obviously cut it down to two hours, and people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like that movie because it didn't make a lot of sense. It felt disjointed. It was choppy.
Yeah,
and that's why.
But I think the way you get around that is if you explain that, if you're transparent and let people know ahead of time, hey, look, yeah, we got this. We had to. So this was coming out this month. Part 1's coming out this. So
I'm just saying that cutting it down to 2 hours and just being done with it, trying to make it one movie.
Oh yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Right, that's just not gonna work.
That's not gonna work. You have to put the movie out. So if you separate it and do it 1 month, and like I said, like back in the day, the reason why most of that stuff didn't work was because it took like a year for some reason to put the second part in. So it at the earliest. So you're like,
I think Matrix was like 6 months or something.
6 or 7 months, I think it was. I think like 2 came out and no, it was 8
one
months.
Was in summer, and then one was in like
in winter.
Fall.
Yeah, because it was like early summer. It was like April, I think. Yeah. And the next one was like in like December. So I remember that, and it was like it's one of those situations where you're like, okay, you can't, like, you don't have to. You're not beholden to that whole we have to put it out 6 months later. No, you can put it out a month later. You got it done.
Yeah.
So just put it out the next month.
Say like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you give your movie give your first part 6 weeks.
Yeah.
To ingratiate yourself, and then those people, are
gonna come right back.
Are gonna come right back because it's like, oh yeah, I want to see the rest of it. I'm recently engaged in this. I'm gonna go right back to the theaters and finish it.
Yeah, because look, theaters, they got to get their money out within the first 3 weeks. After the first 3 weeks, their money starts declining because other stuff comes out.
Right.
So guess what? You're already gonna start losing money anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a good movie. Most good movies are top 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah. Top. Now during the summer, it's usually only 2 weeks because you have like so many movies coming out.
There's so many movies coming out. So.
Yeah, but let's just say in the fall, 3 weeks. Usually 3 weeks. So your first 2 weekends, if nothing else comes out against it, your first 2 weekends, that's where you're gonna make your money at.
That's where you're making your money. Yep.
Yeah, that's why we always say in the gaming community they don't need to have these movie style budgets, because the games are designed to make money over time, not in the first 2 weeks. So movies are designed to make money in the first 2 weeks, the first month. I'll say 2 to 4 weeks, the first month, depending on when you come out. But after that, now you're just taking up space, and you probably get one. Maybe if you're in there, the only movie I know of that kept making money consistently was Deadpool, the first Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
It came out in February.
People just kept going back to watch it again.
Yeah, people kept going back, and they had put
I watched it twice.
Fox did not believe in that movie so much. They put the DVD out in April. It was still in theaters till June.
Yeah, and it was still making money in theaters regardless of the Blu-ray DVD.
Yeah, because people were like, "Now I'm going to see this again because it was too funny." And you go, and it'd be like a Friday night, and Deadpool in May is packed out.
Yep.
It was packed. It was so packed out in my theater that X-Men Apocalypse had hardly nobody in it. People were going out of Apocalypse and going back into Deadpool.
And that movie didn't help itself either, but
it did not. So like people were going back into Deadpool, and Deadpool had been out since February of that year. So that's the only movie that I know of that was happening in. No, normally,
Any
and that's an
confidence in
anomaly.
Disney's Deadpool?
Hmm?
Any confidence in Disney's Deadpool?
I got a little bit because Ryan Reynolds
I
still
mean,
has creative control. They're not
oh,
gonna
does
touch
he?
it.
Okay,
Yeah, they're
okay,
not touching it.
all right,
From what
okay,
I've read, they're not touching it. And if it's me, I'm not doing nothing. I'm like, dude, you did all this damn near by yourself. Tell me how much money you need.
right.
And do you need ILM? You need ILM? There you
Haswell
go.
said something like that about something. Is we're not messing with it. It makes money. We're not gonna touch it. I can't remember what it was. What was that? He just said we're not messing with that.
Is
That does well.
was
I can't
that the
remember what it
Harley
was.
Quinn stuff?
It
Was that
might
the
have
Harley
been.
Quinn stuff?
It might have been.
Yeah, because I think that's the best show they got. Well, that and Peacemaker were the best two shows they got.
He's making great. Yeah, you
Because they
can't mess
just
with
canceled Young Justice, and I hadn't watched Young Justice since season 3. I didn't even watch the last season of Young Justice. I fell out of love with it. So
it. Fell off.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I
it
understand.
fell off bad. But yeah, I think it was Harley because Harley Quinn and Peacemakers. If you haven't had a chance to watch Peacemaker, do yourself a favor, watch Peacemaker.
It was
John
a
Cena's
complete
hilarious.
surprise because
Yeah,
I was sitting thinking, man, I don't want to watch a movie with Peacemaker. I don't like that dude. He killed Rick Flag in the movie. Oh, spoilers, sorry. Um,
spoilers for a movie you probably didn't
how
care
you
for
gonna
anyway.
how you gonna make him the lead? I mean, I'm not feeling it. And he was awesome.
Yeah,
Best thing John Cena's ever been in. He was great.
John Cena and James Gunn. That was I
That
didn't
was a
think that
great
was gonna
pair.
work. It worked. It
Yeah.
worked. But yeah, they have some stuff. I really hope that because I'm still rooting for them because they hadn't touched Static Shock yet.
Well, I'm always rooting for it because I'm a DC head, but
Yeah, but
I'm a
I
little
do.
annoyed right now. I don't like what I perceive as the direction right now.
Yeah,
They start messing around, middling around with HBO Max. I'm not gonna be happy with that at all. I mean,
yeah.
they already are technically doing that, but they
That's
start
why.
messing with those shows, those amazing shows. We don't have problems. Just to put in some reality garbage from
Yeah,
Discovery,
well,
I ain't feeling it.
like you said earlier, they should just let them be their own thing,
Yeah,
like Disney does with Marvel. Let them be their own thing and just watch the money pile in.
yeah. Keep your little Discovery separate. Why you have to merge it?
Yeah, I'm,
There's no logical reason to merge it. You
yeah,
can offer a plan the way Disney does with Disney, Hulu, and all that kind of stuff. The way
yeah,
they merge it together, you can do
yeah.
that, but don't merge. Don't actually merge Discovery because it doesn't fit HBO. HBO is
It
a
really
different
don't.
entity, bro.
Yeah, it
Like
really don't. And we
they
already
don't
don't get
fit
all the stuff HBO used to offer anyway.
right.
So
And they got rid of like 20 shows. They pulled 20 shows off of there because they didn't want to pay royalties to
yeah,
shows they say aren't making money for them. And I'm just
yeah.
like, they have no respect for artists right now, from what
Oh
I see.
no, dude, they like, man, look, we a corporation, goddamn it.
Yeah.
With
But the
your
problem is
numbers look like this much.
you need art to fuel their corporation. You keep pissing. Who's gonna want to come and work on a Warner Brothers movie right now? Looking
Nobody,
at what they do to people. If you're an
nobody.
auteur director, you want to go over there. I mean, that's why Nolan was out.
Yep.
I'm done with this. This is nonsense.
Nolan was like, peace, one love.
Yeah, like you gave up your big ticket.
Hmm.
So I just don't. Again, right now things can change. Because as laymen, as people on the outside, we may not see the complete vision. Obviously, we don't see the complete vision of what they're doing. I like that they brought in. Who did they bring in from? Who basically helped your boy build Disney Plus?
Oh,
Brought him out of retirement, basically. I
yeah,
can't think of his name. He has a really good track record. So, but is he out of time? Is that some old school stuff that's not actually going to work right now? I don't know. I know
yeah.
he has good credentials, but so did Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, we know how that went.
So
Still
that
going.
doesn't always mean a whole lot. But
Yeah,
they're saying the right stuff
Yeah.
when it comes to that.
I
We want to find our Kevin Feige. We want to.
I will
Okay.
say this: if they can, I understand why they needed to clean house, but if they can find a way to like make an actual plan and stick to it, they will be fine. But I don't
Yeah.
like you said, I don't agree with what they're doing right now because some of it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like they're cleaning house to clean house, not even trying to. Cause if stuff is already done, I'm gonna go on and put that on just because that'll be extra money. They already paid for it before we came.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna look good on my books anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're taking on debt, but that happens anytime you buy anything.
Yeah.
That's just part of
So
the situation.
and once again, it's not like you have a small fan base. You have a huge fan base.
Yeah. And again, how much is 90 million up against? What is it? I think they taken on 58 billion in debt or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is 90 million really gonna help you that much? No. You might as well just give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
What they were promised.
I mean, Disney took on what 72 billion worth of debt, and they ain't cut nothing.
No.
They didn't say.
They added stuff. All they doing is adding stuff.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? Simpsons just ain't what it used to be. Cut it. They ain't say that.
Yeah, and look at them. They're like ahead of Netflix right now with subscribers.
Yeah, you have to. And let's be real. Both of these companies not hurting for money. All right, let's cut that.
That's the main thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're not hurting for money. That's not. Even if you were, that ain't helping you much.
That's not.
That little tax write-off is not helping all that much.
Yeah, no.
If you're weighing the pros and cons, you're like, okay, yeah, this won't hurt. This is, we'll write it off, and it'll basically be zero sum, right? Versus pissing off the fan base, and not having, cool new content that fans have been looking forward to, since we heard the announcement of it. So, to me, it's not a good pro-con, argument.
It really ain't. So we're gonna see though. We're gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm hoping for the best. It's not like I'm not. As DC, I want my DC to be up there where Marvel is. It should be.
It should. They have. When you think about it, they have the characters with the most notable characters.
Yeah,
they do.
Marvel. I mean, Captain America and Iron Man. They were not on the level
no.
they are on today when they started making those movies.
Matter of fact,
they elevated those guys with the movies.
Matter of fact, what used to make Marvel their money was X-Men. It wasn't the Avengers. It was the X-Men. Right. So, look.
X-Men and Spider-Man.
Yep. DC has Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Lantern Corps, all of them.
Yeah. Doctor Strange. Who was that? Yeah, like nobody knew these characters. I mean, I did. We did.
I mean, yeah.
But the general audience didn't know any of these guys, and they're making $1 billion now in the theater.
Yeah, even the movies that ain't that good make $1 billion. Like,
right.
Hey. So,
because I didn't care for Doctor Strange at all, and it didn't make $1 billion, but it was close. It was like 900. It was
like 800 or something. Like, in other words, it was a profit. It was still a profit.
Right.
They ain't taking no L's. Put it like that. Like, hell, their worst movie made $1 billion. Their worst movie, in my opinion, made $1 billion. Iron Man 3. I thought that was one of the weakest movies, and that joke they were $1.3 billion. Like what?
What?
Like how?
Why?
So yeah, I'm like, dude, and they have the characters to do it. Because to be completely fair, Justice League, the theatrical cut, was actually profitable. The problem was it didn't make $1 billion. It made like 750 mil or something like that.
Yeah, 750. Yeah.
It was still profitable. They brought in a profit, but people got mad.
All the problems, it was still profitable.
Yeah, but the problem was it didn't do what Avengers did. It wasn't supposed to do what Avengers did. Avengers had a setup. It wasn't supposed to.
Their worst movie, DC's worst movie, made $840 million. Suicide Squad.
Yep.
So, come on.
I mean, yeah, like, dude, you're still making a profit. So it's not like your movie. It's not like you put out Suicide Squad and Justice League and they only made 100 mil.
Right.
No. So the narrative needs to like, look, you might not have liked the movie, but it's still, don't pretend like the movie didn't make money. Because I'm just saying, some of these movies are actually bringing in profit, and people are like, oh, this movie just, it wasn't at the heights of what it could be. I'm like, dude, they made.
There was a lot of manufactured hate online and all this stuff too.
Yeah, that didn't help. That doesn't help. No. I just laugh when I hear.
Still doing well.
Yeah, that's why I laugh when I hear all the people being like, "Man, this is woke. I ain't going to see this." I'm like, then how did it make $1 billion?
Right. They're jumping on She-Hulk now with that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back laughing because I'm like, y'all watching it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, man. I don't watch stuff I don't like.
Popular show to date.
Yeah, I don't know about you.
Debut.
I don't watch stuff I don't like. So I don't understand how people watch it. They're like, dude, you're watching it though.
You hate watching it? You're a hate watcher.
Man, I'm gonna watch this so I can hate about it. Really?
Right.
You're not.
They don't care.
Yeah.
You're still watching it. They're making their money. They don't care.
Yeah. That's like the people. Remember back in the 90s, people were like, oh man, I hate Tommy Hilfiger, but that's all they would wear.
Right. I'm like, how you hate him? You walk around in Tommy Hill all the time, bruh.
Make it make sense. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm hoping they do well because I still want my Static Shot.
I need my Static Shot, bro.
Please. At least the animated stuff that y'all promised.
That's why I'm hoping they get a Kevin Feige type of guy. I know that guy understands Static Shock could be DC's Spider-Man.
Yeah. He
could be. He should be. But
look,
they need the right people in to recognize that and to build this guy up.
Hey, DC, let me give you a little piece of advice. You see what happened with Black Panther? Black folks show up.
Yeah.
You might want to lean into that. Just saying.
5 minutes ago, nobody knew what a Black Panther was.
Yeah.
And now look. Wakanda forever. Exactly.
It's so bad. People watch the trailer for Black Panther 2, and now both Latin and Black people are supposed to wear all white. Apparently, the delegation told everybody we supposed to wear all white opening night. I'm like, what?
We got to do a discussion on our predictions on that one.
I'm like, all right, y'all going a little bit too far, but I'm still gonna be in the movie theater. I'm just saying, I ain't wearing all white. I ain't doing all that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do all that.
Yeah, but I'm like, you got
to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I want to be comfortable.
Yeah, I'm like, but you got people saying that now. I'm like, DC, you got Static,
and they're gonna do it. People are gonna do it. Everybody's gonna show up in black. To salute Chadwick Boseman or white. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing it, but I know a lot of people will.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about for this discussion. Thank you, Mizzah Tee, for joining me, because it was just something that it struck me as odd, especially with the Batgirl situation. And then I'm sitting here looking at everything Ezra Miller doing every other weekend.
Right, it was like getting weirder and weirder every week.
Yeah, I'm like, when he just in Hawaii, why is he in Vermont? You know what?
How's he doing? He's like globetrotting. What's going on, bro?
Yeah. So
why can't they catch this guy? Why can't they find him?
People don't mind talking about he's the real reverse.
Literally the Flash.
Yeah.
He's outrunning everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, I wanted to bring you in because I was like, look, I'm more on the Marvel side. I do like my DC stuff, but I'm more on the Marvel side. But I wanted to bring you in because I'm like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I could understand if they didn't have a streaming service, but like if you have a streaming service, there's no excuse to not put a done completed movie on
it. It's stupid. That was the camp. That was what's the saying? The straw. That's the straw that broke my back, bro. Yeah. Like that was just like, all right, y'all done. Really testing me right now.
It's done. People are gonna renew their subscription.
We need a Snyderverse type of campaign online to make this movie come out.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna have to take. That's what it's gonna take. Because
we need a hashtag to get this thing going. Because I'm not happy about this at all.
Yeah, at all. Because let's be real. Leslie Grace can act. So I was actually interested in seeing how people gonna do this.
I was super excited to see her as Batgirl. Like,
Yeah.
I really wanted to see that.
So we shall see, man. We shall see. But
I got a question. Because I haven't really is Blue Beetle.
it's not. They haven't touched it yet.
They haven't said anything about that yet, right?
They
Okay.
haven't said anything. I think if they make the wrong, if they say something, because they're still shooting.
Bruh.
They're still shooting. They're still shooting because the guy from Miguel from Karate Kid from Cobra Kai is behind me. So I'm like, if you cancel this,
that's two movies. Cancel with brown stars like that. It's gonna be an explosion.
This ain't the 90s, bro. You can't do that. You can't do that no more now. This ain't the 90s.
Nah.
You can't do that.
You took the two brown star movies and got rid of those.
But you won't but you won't say nothing about the Flash and Ezra acting up.
Right, he acting a damn fool. Nah, that ain't gonna fly.
They're gonna put two and two together. They're gonna get mad. So you like don't do this.
I'm pitchforking at that.
Yeah. Don't do this because like if they were gonna cancel anything, I would have understood them doing Blue Beetle because that wasn't done.
Right, because it's not even done.
Was done.
That I would have understood. Right.
Yeah.
If they would say Blue Beetle, we're canceling that. But Batgirl, I mean, we got production videos and photos and
which means they were working on the behind the scenes stuff.
And she's happy and
which means they were working on the behind the scenes stuff for the DVD.
Right. They're working on behind the scenes at that point. So
if Zaslav and company is stupid enough to do that, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna grab my popcorn and watch WB burn.
Like, as I'm canceling my HBO Max. Bye.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm glad I hate to right now,
I love HBO. I hate to do that because I love HBO. Me and HBO have been friends since I was like 10, and it's part of my upbringing. HBO shows.
Hopefully, they're not stupid enough to do that. Hopefully, they're not stupid enough to do that. I wouldn't think they would have been stupid enough to do what they did, but once again, I'm not in their board meetings. I don't know what financials they're looking at. I don't know, so maybe they have a valid reason. But from the optics of it, it's not a good look.
Not a good look at all.
Yeah, it's just not a good look. So, but Blue Beetle, I haven't read anything about that. Last I saw, they were still shooting because they were shooting at some lot in Atlanta.
Yeah. So I was just wondering because I haven't been in a loop in the last 4 or 5 days, so I was wondering if something happened.
Yeah, I have not heard anything about Blue Beetle or seen anything. All I've seen was the last thing I seen. They actually showed the suit, like the top part of the suit. I've seen the pictures of that. I'm like, all right, that looks pretty cool. Yeah. Because of course they have the spots where it's going to be CG'd in, but I'm like, all right, that looks pretty cool. So I'm like, yeah, don't do this. Don't cancel this. Don't do it. Do not do it. Because the first thing gonna happen is people gonna be like, wait a minute. So you cancel Batgirl in this, but you ain't say nothing about that boy up here in Hawaii, acting the fool in Hawaii and hacking the fool in Okay.
Yeah, we got a problem here.
Yeah, that stock price gonna go down real quick. I might actually have to buy some then.
And I'm like, people are, when they're reporting on it, they're trying to, and they're having trouble. It's one thing. With his pronouns, it's not he, it's they, them, right? That's his pronoun. And I'm like, what you've been doing, you don't deserve to have me waste my time with your pronoun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to adhere to your pronouns with the nonsense you've been doing.
Yeah, so, like that.
You don't deserve that respect.
Yeah, that and like you said, it started with him being on video, choking a fan out.
Choking a female fan.
Yeah.
So you could have stopped it right then.
Right there, yeah.
But this is before Zaslav, so it's not his fault. He might have said you out. That might have, because he seems like a no nonsense dude. He seems like a dude that wouldn't have rolled with that.
Yeah, I the way he acts, it looks like if he would have saw it, he would have been gone that next day. He would have got a
Right.
phone call within the next hour when he would have saw that vid. Because at
Right.
first, when you look at the vid, at first I'm like, is this a skit?
I thought it was a skit, right?
Yeah, I'm like, is this a weird skit? And then you
quickly,
find out,
you
no,
quickly
it's not a
realize,
skit.
yeah, you quickly
No.
realize it's not a skit.
Yeah, quickly you realize that. But yeah, that's an issue. That I don't think. That's why I don't know why they. I understand from a business perspective why they still want to put the movie out, but at the same time, I don't think that's smart.
No,
because like you said, that wasn't his apology. That was a manufactured PR apology.
That was his. What do you call it? His PR person, his management.
Yeah,
that's who it was. That wasn't him.
That was not him.
That wasn't them.
Yeah. So also people, please don't be you know what? Never mind. I ain't gonna say that. Never mind.
Don't even go. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting time for WB in Discovery. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna keep my HBO Max until they say
10 years. So
yeah, because they still supposed to be working on that Static Shock animated stuff. If you get rid of that, because you already got rid of Boondocks, that pissed me off. If you get rid of that, I'm probably gonna be out. I like my Static Shock, man.
I'm so mad. I forgot about Boondocks. I'm mad, bro.
That was the main reason why I got it in the first place, because they were like, "Oh, we got the rights to Boondocks." I'm like, "Yes, Aaron Magruder coming back." Yes. Found out last year they quietly swept that under the rug real quick. I'm like, "What the hell, Boondocks?" I said, "Oh yeah, about that." Like, oh really?
Really?
Y'all better be glad I want to see this House of Dragon now.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you know that's how half the people act. Y'all better be glad I want to see this House of Dragon.
I heard it's good, so
yeah,
that's good to hear.
Yeah, because God knows them other two showrunners. Once they got,
I'm still upset about. It kind of fell off a little bit. I'm a little upset about Raised by Wolves, but season 2 wasn't. Season 2 was a little up and down. So
up and down, okay. Yeah.
I'm not as upset about that. Season 2 was. Season 1 was so great. I guess I've gotten my fill. I can move on. I can move on from that.
Oh, yeah, I still gotta finish Westworld season 4.
That's a show they're talking about that might be getting canceled.
Are you serious?
Because of how expensive it is, yeah. If that gets canceled, I'm out. Because it's clearly about money. Because the show is fantastic. It's amazing. At that point, you're just, you are.
Warner Brothers ain't broke.
I know they ain't broke. At that point, you're just being penny pinching bitches. I'm sorry.
Now you're just being petty. Now you're supposed to be a petty.
Right. That's crazy to me.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
Oh, and it wasn't Barbara Gordon. Or this version of her wasn't. I mean, she's connected to Jim from The Batman. Was that the thing?
Yeah.
Right. She was, right?
Yeah. They were gonna. That's the take they were doing on it. At least that's what I read.
Yeah. The potential.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this one. Hope everybody enjoyed the conversation. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think. Are you waiting with bated breath, or are you just looking for your next month to end so you can just go on and just end off on HBO Max? Leave a comment. Let us know. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.